the event itself, that to me was like, wait a second, he was talking about mass shootings and he got shot. And we heard from your witnesses on the news that he was talking for 10 minutes beforehand before he was shot, sitting in the exact same location. So to me, I'm now thinking, okay, why did he take that shot at that moment? Why did he take that? Was something coordinated? Because why did he now think was something coordinated? Because why did he made one comment about the question and then was shot? Not that I'm saying that there was a co-conspirator, but I would want to talk to the person who asked that question.
Off the cuff live stream, not going to be a long live stream. We're just here for the press conference. It's going to start in about a minute or so.
Now that we know who the shooter is, with the person that asked the question, it may be it just happened to be a coincidence. It may be that the shooter knew he was going to be asked questions like that because he's seen other videos where they talk about mass shootings, and that he wanted to time it so that as soon as he started talking about it, that's when he took the shot. Because now I'm looking at, again, the shooter had 10 minutes beforehand of him sitting in one location and talking about things. And I think he was sitting and wasn't standing. It may have been he was standing before talking about something for 10 minutes and then sat down to take this question. But you want to start to really understand the timing of that shot, why it was taken then. Was it something in his mind that he knew he was going to talk about, or was it the question that he knew was coming? So all those things are going through my mind as an investigator, wanting to discuss. And you really want to just get to the point where you can throw it out and say, nope, the person out of that question has no connection to the shooter. It just was a coincidence, or the shooter knew that question was going to be asked.
Yeah, and we don't even know if he could actually hear what was being said on the stage from that far away.
Yo, Victor, what up, son? Yeah, they found the shooter, bro.
Like, if we just don't know.
They
that
got him.
clearly will show that. It's interesting to me, too. Right now, bro. You wonder how long he was up there before he took that shot. And I mean, I am not an expert marksman, but tell me, is that a difficult shot to take?
Yeah, Rob, we just have about a
Robinson,
minute or less here.
Something
but
Robinson.
So as
Tyler
Robinson,
there.
Yeah, as a sniper, it's not a difficult shot. When you're talking about 1,000 yards into a person, and I know people who've SEALs and Special Forces guys who's taken it at shots at a mile into a person. Those are difficult shots. 175-yard shot isn't difficult. It's a hunter type of a shot that they're used to. But again, shooting a human is not easy too. When you put a person in your scope, there may have been some difficulties on the angle and the fact that there was a tent there that may have thrown his shot off some, but it was still a fatal shot.
Thank you, Rob.
Rob, your analysis has been so helpful this morning.
This guy.
We are about to join
this is the dude,
NBC News special report as we get an FBI update on the latest of the suspect in custody.
From NBC News, this is a special report. Here's Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 7 a.m. on the West. We're following breaking news in the assassination of influential conservative activist Charlie Kirk. NBC News sources confirming a suspect is now in custody. He's been identified as Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man from Utah.
All of this follows a massive manhunt in the wake of Wednesday's shooting in Utah. It also follows the FBI's overnight release of new images and videos of a person of interest.
In a moment, we're going to take you to Utah. Officials are about to
I didn't really FW Charlie, but that's such a coward move to kill someone for having agreements with college kids.
The suspect was identified and brought into custody. Let's go to NBC's Morgan Chesky. And
yeah, Victor, that's a bitch move. That's right.
Across the street here in New York on Fox and Friends breaking.
But you know what? It's an unhinged move as well. You know?
Yeah, Savannah,
that's the problem today,
development this morning from President Trump during that interview, saying that he had
people
a
are
high
crazy
degree
today,
of
bro,
certainty
especially
that law
here in the
enforcement
U.S., where they
officials
have no
had
lives,
a person in custody
no
that they
prospects,
was in
no
fact
motivation,
the person who
no
fired the fatal shot,
intelligence.
killing Charlie
They live in a
Kirk
fake
here
reality.
on the campus of Utah
They have no
Valley
idea how the
University.
real world
Since then, though, we have learned
exists
more
or
details.
works.
As you mentioned, Savannah, he's been identified as 22-year-old.
And then they only listen to other stupid people, other
and that
unhinged
correlates with
people.
what we heard from law enforcement yesterday, saying that this person of interest that they shared both images of and video of appeared to be a college-aged male. That pairs with the fact that Robinson is 22 years old. According to the president, Savannah and Craig, we're also hearing that it was someone very close to Robinson who
his
recognized
dad.
him from
So,
either the images or the video,
I gotta make sure
and then contacted law enforcement.
Hold on, I'll be right
and
back.
that began
His
the
dad,
process
his
of
dad.
bringing him into custody.
His dad turned him
We're
in.
hoping
His
to
dad
hear
called a
more
priest, like a
details
minister
and
or
gain some
something, a
clarity
pastor or
onto
whatever, bro.
how exactly
And
that
the
all went
dad
down
talked to the
here in this
minister
press
and
conference
turned him in,
that
bro.
should begin any minute
His
now.
own dad turned the
But
kid
it
in.
has been
The shooter.
a fast
I'll be right back.
developing investigation here with the release of the videos late last night by
WDAT.
authorities in a press conference where FBI Director Kash Patel was in attendance. They did not take any questions at that time. They simply said, this is the individual just moments after firing the shot that killed Kirk. You can see him running on a campus rooftop. He then lowered himself and jumped off onto the ground. Officials say that they left behind a crucial trail of evidence, DNA on that rooftop ledge, a shoe print on the ground, and then a high-powered rifle in a nearby wooded area. All of that will now likely be used by investigators to hopefully or potentially be tied to Robinson now that he is in custody. One thing we have yet to hear from officials, despite calling this a politically motivated assassination, we have yet to see any particular piece of evidence that could lend itself to showing this person's state of mind or motivation, political ideology, anything of that nature. This is where this investigation is really now going to dig in to anything Robinson may have in his possession.
I don't know if he's a W dad, bro, because in reality, the best course of action
where the investigation stands
for him,
on that front. Now
for the
that
whole
this
family, for that
individual
kid,
is
the shooter, and his
I
family,
should point out that this campus's
is to turn
community
themselves in.
was
They
not
do not
put on
want
lockdown
a
for
national
long period of
manhunt
time because
coming
officials
after
believe
them.
that this was a targeted attack.
That's just going to be
they did not believe
too
anyone
crazy
else
for
was
them.
at risk.
Okay, here's the
Certainly
FBI
a lot of relief in this community
director.
right
All right, Morgan Chesky there.
Let's
Morgan,
take a
stand
look. Let's
by.
listen,
This
bro.
news conference is getting underway. Let's
FBI
listen in.
Director Kash Patel.
Yeah, trying to harbor a
Mike
killer
Smith.
would be crazy.
We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo
There's
Mason,
already pictures of the mom's kid.
Lieutenant
the
Governor
name and
Deidre
everything.
Henderson.
They're not going to have a
Special
good time,
Agent
bro,
in
anymore. They
charge, Robert
better leave the
Bowles,
U.S.
And local and federal law
I would do
enforcement
if I was
partners. Following the
not
remarks
safe for
today,
them anywhere.
Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Oh.
On the evening of September 11th,
we got him.
a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information.
I say incompetent
that
because they
Robinson
caught him and
had
the FBI
confessed to
director
them
announced
or
him and then he
implied that had
unannounced him.
committed
That's
the
incompetency.
incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk.
Trump needs to find someone who is going to do better.
They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique.
Engraving
messages bullets? From the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read,
smart.
"If you read this, you are
so
gay,
cultured.
LMAO."
Multilingual.
We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person.
At least they caught him quick.
And to bring justice.
But it was delivered to him. They didn't catch him.
Reviewing
he came
videos,
himself to them.
helping us with sending in tips and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into
they're saving face.
They're
just saving face. They're just saving face, bro.
Especially want
the family is just saving face. If I was in that situation, I would go to every channel. I would condemn my own son. I would call him a piece of shit. I would do all that, bro. I would do all that. Because my son is already fucked. He's already fucked forever. I have to live in the world now with his fucking mess. And maybe I caused it as a parent. I don't know. Maybe these parents, well, they turn him in, though. At least they're playing that card. But, you know, who knows if they caused it by the way he was raised. Maybe he was just radicalized by all the propaganda in the news. Do not believe any news you hear. Just discern yourself. Don't go crazy. Be chill all the time. And nothing is to die for.
To thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case.
They
will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through
the FBI
this
didn't need to
process
secure it
as well.
Oh, you mean
This
after the
is
shooting they had to secure it? They had some problems with that, maybe?
Again, for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history.
Closure? This is just the beginning, baby. You're going to have a bunch of copycats.
Over to the director of the FBI, Cash.
If law enforcement and the FBI, if they do not do anything right now, against those who are radicalized and are promoting these acts of violence. Because this shooter, he probably saw online a bunch of people saying, we got to kill Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. And then he went and did it because he's a stupid dumbass. And he was going to be celebrated by those fucking crazy people. So that's why he did it. You know what I'm saying? But we need they're not going to do anything. But in an ideal world, we will have our FBI and our police and everything making sure that whoever is generating incentives of threat of violence have consequences before this violence is committed. Although the real solution is better mental health, because we need to have our freedoms, bro. We're not going to give our freedoms away anymore. We should not have to give them anymore for the purpose of safety.
Patel.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's see Patel what he has to say.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk.
Circle jerking each other. Oh, good cops. We're proud. Oh, great. Bro, okay.
Trump, the Vice
Come on, bro.
And the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive.
The tech is doing the job for you, bro. It's not you.
To the FBI as a team.
Cops today are not as good as cops from before.
And I just want to express my gratitude.
Cops today have too many tools that do it for them.
We need
face cams, AI cams,
to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed.
Yeah. Come on, get to the meat, bro.
In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days.
Oh my God.
Our partnership will endure.
I don't care about none of this crap, bro.
Sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. In a case
if
like
you
this,
get close to any of
solved,
these people in person, you know what they're going to smell like? Like shit. Because their noses are stuck up each other's asses all day long, kissing it.
Lead out for the federal government, but Governor Cox, we are so
still talking about how great partners they are. And, oh, thank you. Bro.
A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene.
I have no sympathy for
the FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets.
Only for my bros.
We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilize these assets to go back and forth.
I don't want to listen to them, bro. I just wanted to do their job.
To transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on...
The fact he has to keep adding, at my direction, myself, like, bro, this is just for him. This is not for us.
On the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11.
No, I think, like, how did they not make sure the campus was safe?
Conference last night.
Yo, Victor, Charlie Kirk is it's not a government official. He does not get FBI protection. Whoever was doing security for him, okay, whether the cops or whatever, you know, they have a shooter, they didn't clear the roof. I would think that after the Trump shooting, every time there's like a big public speaker outdoors, you know, everyone's common sense is going to be like, let's check the roofs just in case. But, you know, that wasn't the case, bro. Yeah, they're celebrating over catching him in 33 hours. Yeah, he could have been in Europe, bro, in less time. That's right.
At approximately 8 p.m.
Dude, the only reason dude is in jail now is because he wasn't smart enough to get the fuck out of here.
Of the suspect.
Could have gone to Mexico. Bro, Mexico would have never returned him. Ever. Not the Mexican president.
And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government.
Oh, we did it in less than 36, 33 to be precise.
Governor Cox,
motherfucker. You didn't even do anything, bro. His dad gave him, turned him in.
I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been
he
possible
did it himself.
without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency.
You're committed to transparency?
The crime scene.
Show me Epstein stuff, bro.
Scene. State and local authorities, along with
name names,
process that crime scene.
We only care about names, bro.
And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it. And
I'm not going to keep watching this guy, bro. He's just talking, circle jerking, saying how great they are, saying how honest they are, how transparent they are, how efficient they are, how great police they are. As an American, I'm totally unhappy with this country. The reason I love America is because it's supposed to be a country of laws where it's equal to everyone. Not equal opportunities, but equal treatment of the law. This is not equal treatment of the law. When we have sexual predators in power, in business, in media, they do whatever the fuck they want to us, and then we have no recourse. If you and I did 1% of the things any of these fuckers do, we'd be paying the consequences. But this guy standing here saying they're such great police because they arrested a guy that turned himself in. Come on, bro. I'm going to end this stream because I only wanted to bring this up. I don't think I'll ever do it again. I'll see you on the next stream, bros. We're gonna do a happy stream later today. Keep your eye out on the Discord. I'll check you out later.